Have you ever watched a woman light up across the room for a guy who isn't better looking than you, isn't richer than you, isn't smarter than you, and walked away wondering what he had that you don't? You replay it in your head. The conversation where you said all the right things, the compliments you gave, the effort you put in, and she just drifted. Polite, distant, gone. You're not imagining it, and you're not broken. I'm Milani, and this is Milani Love Advice, where we uncover the real psychology that creates desire. Here's what nobody told you. Attraction isn't logical. It's not a checklist. You can say every right word and still lose her, because women aren't responding to your words. They're responding to something underneath them, something most men never learn to read. This was never your fault. Nobody taught you this. You weren't given a manual, you were given movies. Advice from people who never struggled. Pressure to just be yourself with zero explanation of what that even means. So you tried harder, you gave more, you chased, and the harder you chased, the further she pulled away. That's not a character flaw, that's a sequencing error. You were running the steps out of order, like trying to bake a cake by frosting it first. Here's the map. Female attraction is ancient. It's not shallow, it's not random, it's wired by millions of years of evolutionary psychology. A woman's brain is built to scan for safety, status, and strength, all in seconds, mostly below conscious awareness. She's not choosing with a spreadsheet, she's pattern matching. Subconscious scanning for deep ancestral signals of value. Once you understand those signals, you stop performing. You stop chasing. You start becoming the kind of man women lean toward without even knowing why. And I'll warn you now, the final one is incredibly powerful. It can change everything fast, and almost no one uses it correctly. Let's start with the first hidden trigger. Masculine presence. This isn't about your face. It's not about your height, your jawline, or your wallet. It's about grounded energy. The way you occupy a room without needing it to notice you. Think about the moment you walked into a job interview underprepared, heart racing, scanning for approval. Compare that to the moment you walked into a room, knowing exactly who you are, needing nothing from anyone. Women feel that difference instantly. Energy speaks before words do. Practice this. Next time you're in a conversation, slow your speech down, plant your feet, stop asking permission with your body language. Presence isn't loud. Presence is still. Energy is the first sentence before you ever speak. The second trigger is emotional challenge. Women are drawn to polarity, the push and pull between warmth and tension. Constant agreement feels safe but flat. A playful tease creates friction, and friction creates a spark. You've done the opposite before. She said something slightly arrogant, and you rush to compliment her to smooth it over. Instead, try this. Smile, raise an eyebrow, and say, "Wow, somebody's confident today." Light, playful, never cruel. Suddenly, she's working a little to win your approval back, and that effort is what makes you valuable. Comfort builds friendship. Challenge builds chemistry. Trigger 3 is selective attention. A man who gives all his attention to one woman instantly, every text answered in seconds, every plan rearranged around her, accidentally signals that she's his only option. Scarcity creates value. A full life creates magnetism. Picture this. She texts you at 2 p.m. You see it. You're mid-workout, mid-meeting, mid-living your actual life. You reply 2 hours later, warm, present, unbothered, not playing games, just genuinely occupied by a life that matters to you. Women don't want your full attention. They want your earned attention. If this is making sense so far, hit subscribe and join Milan Love Advice community. It helps more men learn what they were never taught. Trigger 4 is intentional listening. Most men listen to respond. Few men listen to understand. When you recall the smallest detail, the name of her sister, the show she mentioned once, the way she takes her coffee, you're doing something rare. You're proving you actually see her. Imagine this. Weeks after she mentioned her dog's name in passing, you ask, "How's Bella doing?" Her face changes. Not because you have a good memory, because you made her feel like she mattered enough to remember. Most people hear, few people listen. Be the few. Trigger 5 is calibrated vulnerability. This one trips men up constantly because they confuse vulnerability with venting. Real vulnerability isn't dumping your trauma in the first conversation. It's sharing something true with strength underneath it, never playing the victim. Picture this moment. She asks why you don't talk to your father much. Instead of deflecting with a joke, you say calmly, "We had a hard relationship growing up. It taught me what kind of man I want to be. No drama. No self-pity, just honesty with purpose. Vulnerability isn't weakness. Calibrated, it's a deep flex of strength. Trigger 6 is gradual physical touch. This is subtle and easy to misuse, so handle it with respect and intention. A light touch, a hand briefly on the shoulder, a graze of the arm while laughing releases oxytocin, the bonding chemical. It builds comfort and closeness long before anything romantic happens. Picture a moment you laughed together and you barely tapped her arm, saying, "Stop, you're terrible," still smiling, no pressure, no lingering, just a small, respectful spark of connection. Touch isn't about taking, it's about building trust. One small moment at a time. And now the final trigger, the one I warned you about, controlled unpredictability. The human brain releases dopamine not from guaranteed rewards, but from uncertain ones. That's the same mental shortcut behind gambling, behind addictive apps, behind the relationships you can't stop thinking about. A woman who knows exactly what you'll do next loses interest fast. A man who's warm, present, but never entirely predictable keeps her curious. This isn't about disappearing for days or playing cold. That's manipulation, and it backfires. This is about having your own rhythm. Some nights you're available, some nights you're focused on your goals. You don't explain every move. You don't need to. Picture this. You usually text back fast every time, like clockwork. One evening, you're deep in something that matters to you, a project, a workout, a conversation with a close friend, and you reply later than usual, still warm, still genuine. She notices, not because you ignored her, because for once she wasn't certain. Certainty kills curiosity. Mystery keeps her engaged. Now here's the truth underneath all 7 of these. None of them work in isolation, and none of them work as tricks. They work because they're real tools that align with how human attraction actually functions. Use them with respect. Use them with intention, never to manipulate, never to deceive, only to become the most grounded, magnetic version of the man you already are underneath all that confusion. You don't need perfection. You need strategy. Think back to who you were before this video, replaying every conversation, wondering what you said wrong, chasing validation that kept slipping further away. That man believed attraction was about being good enough, working hard enough, saying the right thing at the right time. But attraction was never about perfection. It's about understanding deep patterns most men spend their entire lives blind to. Masculine presence, emotional challenge, selective attention, intentional listening, calibrated vulnerability, gradual touch, controlled unpredictability, 7 invisible threads weaving together what women feel but rarely explain, even to themselves. You don't need her to teach you. You don't need to ask her what she wants, because half the time she doesn't consciously know either. It's buried beneath millions of years of instinct. You're not chasing her anymore. You understand her. That shift from confusion to clarity, from chasing to attracting, that's not a trick. That's a transformation. And it starts the moment you stop trying to be everything to everyone and start becoming someone with depth, purpose, and grounded energy that doesn't need approval to feel whole. Picture the next woman who catches your eye. Instead of overthinking your opening line, you simply show up, present, calm, a little playful. Instead of replying instantly to every message, you live your life and let her feel the gap. Instead of oversharing your whole life story by the second date, you reveal pieces of yourself with intention, earning trust gradually. You're not performing anymore. You're simply operating from understanding. This is what it means to silently level up. Not louder, not flashier, just deeper. Most men around you will keep repeating the same mistakes, overgiving, over-explaining, oversharing, because nobody ever showed them the deeper architecture underneath connection. You now see what they don't, and that quiet knowledge changes the way you carry yourself even before you say a single word. Real attraction was never about becoming someone else. It was about removing the noise, the desperation, the performance, and finally showing the grounded magnetic man who was buried underneath all that confusion the whole time. You don't need tricks. You need truth, and now you have it. If you're ready to stop chasing and start becoming the man women genuinely desire, subscribe to Milani Love Advice now. Turn on notifications, because the next one will shift your reality again.